Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hi everyone.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm great. How about you?
I'm fine. So what will we do today?
So actually, this is our assignment for a literature subject, and today we're gonna answer several questions based on the story that have been chosen by us. It's about Rapunzel's story, such a great and also famous story that have been heard in these days. And now we're gonna introduce ourselves first. I am Nur Faizah. How about you?
I am Nur Fadhilatus Sa'adah.
And I am Hilda Afidawati.
And of course, we're gonna answer several questions that have been provided by our lecturer. There are 9 questions, and the first question: please retell the story you choose in 2 until 3 minutes.
Yes. So I am Nur Fadhilatus Sa'adah. I will try to answer that question. So I want to retell the story that I have read the passage before. Well, the story begins from the kingdom, from the kingdom. Some kingdom. There was a king and a queen. They are the parents of the baby. So the queen was giving a birth of her baby, and but before the queen gave birth the baby, the queen got a problem got a problem. So the what we call around them, the people around them say to the queen that the queen should find the beautiful flower which has the light, or we call it light life. So that what we call prajurit, soldier knight. Yeah. So the soldier they are helping. They help the queen to look for that flower. So when the soldier finally found that flower, finally the queen could give a birth of her baby, and her baby's name is Rapunzel. Yes, Rapunzel. While there was a sorceress. The sorceress actually the owner of the beautiful flower itself. So the sorceress thought that the Rapunzel stole her beautiful flower. So the sorceress had intention to steal the baby Rapunzel from the kingdom, so that after the day the baby Rapunzel lived together with the sorceress in the big building, castle, the tower. Yeah, they call it the tower. So that inside of that tower, Rapunzel lived together with the sorcerers. And after that, from the baby, Rapunzel cannot go out from that tower. So when Rapunzel has been grown up until 18 years old, so Rapunzel asked to her mom, which is sorceress, why does Rapunzel cannot go out? So the mommy or the sorceress answered to the Rapunzel that in outside will be danger for you if you go out, or if you live in outside, something like that. And after that, day by day Rapunzel meet with the prince, which this prince can bring really happiness for the Rapunzel itself, because the prince can invite or can bring the Rapunzel to go to outside to look for something that the Rapunzel never seen before, something like that, so that the Rapunzel, we call it, fall in love with the prince itself. So, but in the end, the Rapunzel and the prince cannot live together because the prince was dying. Yeah, this is the story about the Rapunzel.
So actually, the mommy or the stepmother is like a witcher.
Yeah,
right?
the stepmother is witcher.
And it's how it seems like a jail actually.
Yes, because Rapunzel cannot go out, and So that because that building is a high and big tower, so Rapunzel lived in the topest tower itself. So that from the window, when the stepmother of Rapunzel came from the down, so mommy's Rapunzel usually say that Rapunzel, let down your hair, so that when Rapunzel can let down her hair, the mommy or the stepmother can
Climb up?
climb. The mommy can climb that tower. Yeah, something like that.
Which I really need to get character of this stepmother. Okay, next, the second question. What is the purpose delivered by the author?
The purpose certainly is about we can take the benefits from that story, that we don't have to be a cruel, and we don't need to be selfish. You know, the character of the sources or the stepmother from Rapunzel, we can see that the sources is selfish because she just cares about her business. So that Rapunzel is the victim of the selfish from the stepmother itself. So I guess the important thing that we need to know about the Rapunzel story is, we don't need to be selfish person, and don't be greedy also, because the stepmother, the character inside of the Rapunzel story, stepmother is really greedy and selfish.
Yes. Next, the questions number 3. It's about the verbs, and also seems like a language feature, but the question is, what kind of verbs mostly appear in the story? Please give the examples.
Of course, the verb mostly appear like past participle or past tense, something like that, because this story told about the past time. So that the passage also there are many verbs or past tense, like once upon a time, something like that. Or
Because the kinds of this story is like narrative, right?
yes, that's why, because we tell about the past story. Also, there's example like she answered, something like that, and there is also the sentence from the passage like there was a man and woman, something like that, and also the woman was standing, and the others. Those are the example about the most verbs that appear in that passage from the Rapunzel story.
Great. That's a great answer, girls.
Yes.
So we're gonna move into another questions. Questions number 4. What kind of adjective mostly appear in the story? And please give the examples.
The kind of adjective that most appear in Rapunzel's story is descriptive adjective. So descriptive adjective is adjective that describe a noun. For example, beautiful flowers, and then the good Lord, and something like fresh, or another adjective that describe a noun.
Okay. And then number 5, the next questions. It's about what kind of adverb mostly appear in the story. Please give examples.
Okay, the kind of adverb that mostly appear in this story is adverb of time. For example, every day, or now, and then a few years later.
Once upon a time.
Yes.
Great. And then number 6, what kind of tenses mostly appear in the story? Please give the examples too.
Okay, the answer is simple past or past tense, because this is the narrative story. So usually we're gonna use the simple past. For example, the garden was surrounded by a high wall, and then she saw a bed planted with the most beautiful Rapunzel.
Great. So we're gonna move into another questions. It is about 8 or 9. Oh, 7.
7.
Yes, 7. Sorry, guys. So we're gonna answer the 7 questions. It's about when we compare the number of imperative sentence and also question sentence and then statement sentences, which one mostly appeared and also which one less? Please give the example. Actually, because this is the narrative text and mostly the narrative text is discussing or explain about the story, so mostly the statement is really appear a lot. Not just about that, because something that mostly can be reviewed in the story also the questions, because there are several dialogues between Rapunzel or the sorcerers, or we can call it as Frau Gothel. The noun is Frau Gothel, and also the king and the queen and something like that. But mostly the most appeared in this story is the statement, and not just about that, but also the questions just a little bit. So the last one, it is about the questions. And for the example, the questions seems like, how can you dare? Or who will be arriving any moment now? And then there is another one too, imperative sentences, but not that much. Seems like, before you let your wife die, you must get her some of the Rapunzel, whatever the cost. And then, the mostly appear in the story, it is about the statement that I've been told you before. Seems like Rapunzel became the most beautiful child under the sun. Or at first Rapunzel was terrible frightened by a man such as she had never seen before coming to her. And the next one, the next sentence is, Rapunzel has splendid long hair as fine as pure gold. Something like that. So we're gonna move into another questions. The questions, what kind of language feature mostly appear in the please give the example. Of course that if we want to talk about the language feature, we gotta divide it first. The third language feature that has been appeared in the previous story or in the previous lesson, the language feature commonly consists by language technique and then structural technique, and the next one is literary device. But in this story, we're gonna discuss about language technique because that one is mostly appeared in Rapunzel's story. And if you want to know about what kind of the language techniques that have been appeared, it is about noun, verb, adjective, adverb that has been told by my partner, Hilda and also Nur Fadhilah. And for the example, for the noun, we can mostly and also easily to find in this story. It is about Rapunzel, prince, and queen, king, and etc. And also there are pronoun, and if we want to know about the pronoun, we can analyze first. First noun is maybe sorcerers or witcher, but the proper noun, it is about Frau Gothel, the exact name of the sorceress or the witcher, or we can call it as stepmother of the Rapunzel. And then another one, it is adjective. Adjective is really commonly in this story, something like godless child, and then beautiful, unmerciful, and also the splendid. And the next one, it is adverb. Adverb is also the most commonly language technique in this story. Seems like greatly, and in sentences, I choose the example of the sentences based on the Rapunzel story. She immediately made a salad from it, which she devoured eagerly. We can easily to know that eagerly as adverb of the sentences. And also the structural technique, there are simple sentences. Simple sentences is that has been explained by our lecturer that it consists by subject and also verb. Seems like one day the woman was standing, something like that. This is called as simple sentences. And now we're gonna move into another questions, and it means that we have one last questions. The last questions. It is number 9. According to you, what are the message in the story and what things can influence the readers or audiences? Okay, so based on Rapunzel's story that we can call as the fruit of the story. In this story, we can see that the freedomness is really precious for us. The important thing that we need to spend wisely and nicely, it's freedomness. When we have a lot of times, then we can use for another things, but it must be useful and also have a lot of benefit for us, not just spending time for the useless things. So that means that the freedomness and also a lot of time we can use for it is something that beneficial. And not just about that, but we can also can learn from this story. It is about respect, how we respect the other choice, how we respect the other decision. It means that we respect ourselves first. And not just about that, but there are something I read yesterday that actually the Rapunzel story also can bring another message for the audience. Seems like when something is destined to happen to you, then no one, or no matter how much power one has, can stop that from happening. It means that destiny that appeared in your life, in your things, in your favorite activity or everything, it means that destiny has been ruled by our God.
Yes, something like that. So I guess these are from our podcast today. We have already answered all of the questions. Hopefully that what we can bring in this video, it will be useful for you as our viewer of this video. So we are going to say some sorry because if we got a lot of mistakes from this video. Thank you so much for watching and see you around.
See you later.
See you later. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Bye.